I don't know why I feel like my butt chin has gotten more buddy, more prominent lately. Is that a thing that happens as you age? Your what is it called? I think it's called, the technical term is a cleft chin. But I feel like my little booty chin is getting pretty thick. It's like a BBL chin. I'm gonna stop doing that. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everybody had a lovely Thanksgiving yesterday, that you survived Thanksgiving. To those who celebrate. It's such a weird holiday, because we all know by now what happened, right? I don't like, it's such a weird, I don't know how that all happened. Like, how we are we still teaching that in schools? Is that still a thing? I remember when I was in kindergarten, it was 1990. We had the Pilgrims and Indians play that I'm pretty sure, I don't know if that still happens today. Like, do kindergartners, for those of you that have kids, is that still a thing? Are you still arts and crafts where you cut up the little feathers, and the Indians have like the headdress, and then the Pilgrims have like construction paper pilgrim outfits? I don't know. I don't know if that's still going on. And if it is, why? Why are we doing that? Why are we still teaching the kids that? I hope not. It's just, it's so strange, because at this point, it's you teach them that's what happened. And then when they get to middle school, high school, and they crack open their history book, we tell them that the things they learned as children that didn't happen. And then obviously once you get to college, then it's a whole other ball game. Then you learn all the bad things, and you think about when you're a kid, you're like, oh yeah, Squanto helped the Pilgrims plant corn. And then that's how Thanksgiving happened. But it's such a strange holiday, because we celebrate it. We celebrate what happened. And the idea, I get that the whole idea is being with family and enjoying a nice meal. And if we can change it to that, that'd be nice. I think most of us, we don't actually like celebrate Thanksgiving, like anything about it. Like, I don't think anyone sits down and is like praying. I think that it's just like, yeah, Thanksgiving, we just have a turkey, mashed potato stuffing, pie, and we just get together, and some of us get really drunk and say things that we shouldn't be saying. That's fun. That is so fucking American, by the way. That's the most American shit. The whole package of it. Taking a terrible moment in history and like tweaking it into a good time. That's what we do. Anyway. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. We love you so. Your human buddy Sam and his teddy friend, this is hello. The song's almost over, it's about to end. Let's start the show. Cahn Solo Podcast. Stu, I think we need to finally buckle down and get some proper professional lighting here, because we just hit the year mark, by the way. Yay! A couple days ago. Been doing this for a year. Can't believe it. Time has flown. But we need to get some real lighting, especially on Stu's side, because it's really dark over here. And the shadow on the green screen looks really bad. Usually like right behind me. Yeah, there it is. When I do the effects in Final Cut, I think I sit too close to the green screen, which is also a problem, but the shadow gets really blurry and all this stuff. So lighting, I think we're going to have to do that. And because it is, well, today's Wednesday, but it'll be Friday when this comes out. Because it's today, Friday, they're going to have Black Friday sales, I'm sure. So we got to do that because I'm going to record the streak, the running streak. I guess we'll call it a documentary video in a month or two. I'm going to start that. I think I'm going to record like at 45 minutes per session and do it like over the course of like 4 months or whatever. But yeah, I want it to look professional. So we might as well use it for the podcast, right, Stu? So that we look more professional. This always looks like an interrogation like footage, especially with my little mustache now. I look like I committed some crimes. No, but today's Wednesday. Today is November 22nd, which marks the 60th year that Mr. JFK, that happened. I've been seeing, first of all, I'm a big, I don't want to say I'm like a JFK fan. It's like my favorite bad thing that happened in history. Can I say that? Does that make me sound crazy? I'm fascinated by it. We'll say that. I'm really fascinated by it because no matter what happens, there's always something new that pops up, especially on the anniversary. And there's something new popped up. It's every single year. It's the same with like 9/11. Every 9/11, I watch every single time. And I've seen the Zapruder footage of JFK. We've all seen that like 1,000+ times in our lifetime, at least. And I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it and pretend that I'm going to see something different that is going to stand out, and like I'm going to figure out something. And it is really fascinating because it is something that happened during a time where if we didn't have Abraham Zapruder's footage, it would be even crazier, like the conspiracies and what happened. And even though we can't see like where everything happened, we do know like, all right, he got hit and he leans forward. I don't think that's the typical motion you would have if you got hit from the back from all 3 shots or whatever, however many shots there were. So it's kind of interesting. And I'm sorry, I had it flipped. The first 2 shots, when he gets hit, he leans forward, and then the last one he goes back. So that is not something that you would typically, if you're getting hit from the back, I don't think your head's gonna go back. Anyway, I phrased that very poorly. It's just it's something that's always gonna be the public interest. And as time goes on and everybody from when that happened is gone, we're still going to be talking about it. And I've been to the JFK Museum, and they have everything there. And when I went, you hear people mumbling like, I don't think like they're gonna get caught. I don't think there was one shooter. No, Lee Harvey Oswald, he couldn't have done it by himself. And it's gonna go on forever. Hey Stu, you know what I was thinking is, while we're browsing for lights this Black Friday, we should try to get a camera that doesn't shut off every 30 minutes. Anyway, perfect timing. The JFK assassination, every time this happens, someone has new information. Like I said, 9/11, the Titanic, there's always something that's going to change the way we think about this. And lo and behold, Secret Service agent Paul Landis he's got the truth. And it's about time we share it now, on the day of the anniversary. Quote, I think we need to know the truth. Let's get it out, get it over with, and move on. Why are you fucking waiting? Why did you wait this entire time? Surprise, surprise, he has a book that is either coming out or just came out. We're going to read the article real quick, or skim through it. All right. It was about 30 minutes. It was about 30 minutes after President John F. Kennedy was shot on November 2nd, 1963. Secret Service agent Paul Landis was with First Lady Jacqueline at the hospital. All right, yeah, it was a beautiful day, blah, 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 blah. He got shot. As she got up, Jackie, Landis said, he noticed something on the seat. Quote, as soon as Mrs. Kennedy stood up, I noticed a fully intact bullet on the back of the rear seat where she had been sitting, and there was no damage to it. He picked up the bullet and placed it on the side of the president's gurney, he said, figuring that doctors would notice it during an autopsy. So he's sharing this in his new book, The Final Witness. A Kennedy Secret Service agent breaks his silence after 60 years. You piece of shit. If you actually, I shouldn't be calling him that, but I am. If you knew this at the time, you should have spoken up. He's waiting now because it's going to sell books, or he has to confess this before he dies. If this is 60 years ago, and even if he was 20 at the time, which I don't think he was, that put him at 80. He's about to die. He's going to die soon. So I don't know why he's doing this now, but he is. All right. Even now, he said he does not believe his memories contradict the findings of the Warren Commission. I don't want to get into that. If you know what it is, you know what it is. It's a big old fat book that says, hey, this is what happened. The government thinks this is what happened. We're all done. But there's a lot of things that don't make too much sense. All right. Other than that, none of the eyewitnesses were interviewed. Landis stayed on Jacqueline Kennedy's security detail for another 6 months, after which his nightmares and post-traumatic symptoms got to be too much. Quote, the trauma and everything at the time, I had this constant loop going through my head. I had never read the Warren Commission report, and I purposely did not read any of the conspiracy theories and reports that were out there. I figured I was there, I know what happened, I saw it, I didn't need to read anything. Decades after the assassination, a police chief in Shaker Heights gave him a copy of 6 Seconds in Dallas. Quote, it sat on my nightstand for 3 months before I could open it. When he finally read it, he said he saw a picture of what people called the magic bullet, which we all know about. And if you don't know, they're saying that this one bullet went down through like Kennedy's right shoulder, and then it hit the guy in front of him. It hit him in like the right thigh, and then it like went back up and it hit the guy in his left wrist, and it broke his wrist, and then it like went back around, and it was a magic bullet. It did all this crazy shit, and I don't know why that was a thing, but it was a thing. Anyway, quote, I recognized it as the bullet that I had placed on the side of Kennedy's gurney. It was like, wow, this was wrong. What do I do? Who do I call? Who do I talk to about this? There weren't many people I could trust to call. So then he waited until 2014 to call Hill? Who was Hill? Oh, Clint Hill. He was another Secret Service guy that was there. Clint Hill he's still alive, and every year he does this. It's really amazing that he does this. He goes on Twitter. He still uses Twitter, and he posts like the timeline of what happened like the day of, and he gets it like pretty much down to the minute. He's like, all right, yeah, at 11:36, we did this. He posts a picture of it. And then as time goes on, he'll post everything else like, oh, 12:36, we went down Elm Street or Main Street, and the thing happened. And it's really cool that he's doing that. And His memory, I think, he's got it, because there's never any like inconsistencies. He's not like saying one thing one year and changing it the next. He's pretty good about what happened for being an old guy. All right, Sam, you're getting off topic. I quote, I just kept all my feelings and thoughts to myself up until then. I thought that I was over everything and that all those events wouldn't bother me. So yeah, he started writing his memoir. I hope the public learns the truth. There's so much that we don't know. I know the government is withholding information that they don't want the public to know. I think we need to know the truth. Let's get it out and over with. Interesting, but it's every single time these things happen. I think Donald Trump released something with the Kennedy report a couple years ago. It was like, yeah, he's gonna blow everything open. There's like 3,000 pages, and it's like, I don't think anything happened. It was fascinating, but okay, we're not gonna get. There's not gonna be any answers to this. It's not going to be, it was Lee Harvey Oswald, it was this person, it was this person. It's just going to open up the doors to more conspiracies. So good on him for selling the book. But I don't know. I do think, I think Lee Harvey Oswald was definitely involved. I don't think that this guy was innocent. I think he did something. He was seen in the building. He was seen in the book depository building. He worked there. He was acting weird that day. Everybody that he encountered said that. They're like, yeah, he was like really antsy and nervous, and he was all by himself. He didn't meet us for lunch. He was the only one that didn't meet us for lunch. He always had lunch with us. He was sweating after it happened and frantic and looked like he was in, a state of panic. And he shot a cop. He shot a cop like an hour after. J.D. Tippit, he pulled him over because they were looking for a suspect who looked like Lee Harvey Oswald. And he pulled Lee Harvey over and was like, hey, you look like the guy that shot the president. And then Lee Harvey Oswald was, well, I'm going to shoot you. And he killed this cop. And then like a dozen people saw him do that and then flee. So he killed somebody. And I don't think that if he knew he was in deep shit that he would have done that. So I do think that he was involved somehow, and then his history, it sounds like he did something, and it's a shame that it happened first, but it's a shame that it happened. This is gonna sound fucked up. It's a shame that it happened before like technology, because if this happened today, there would be, I hate to say TikToks. There would be so many TikToks. There would be every single angle. We'd have the shooter within an hour. We would know. Somebody would see it. Somebody would film it. And the amount of footage that we had, it would be undeniable. If it happened today, we'd all have it. We'd have it. And we would know. And it would be fucking awful. It would be so much more gruesome than that 1963 footage. We'd have, ooh. Anyway, R.I.P. to Mr. Kennedy. He was only 46 years old. That is a baby, especially for a president. That is a baby. That is an infant president. Little baby John F. Kennedy. I think Obama was the last president that we've had since Kennedy that was in his 40s. And before Kennedy, I have no idea. But since Kennedy, yeah, we haven't had, everyone is just this fucking old guy. Like, especially the last, since Bill Clinton. Yeah, we're just going to keep electing these 60, 70, 80-year-old dudes because that's what we like to do. That's how we like things here in America. Just old, white, stupid guys. Anyway, yeah, he's a part of the Kennedys, and that family is cursed. I don't want to get into all that, but man, what a rabbit hole to go down. I think there was like 11 siblings of JFK, and then their offspring all bred. That family is always going to exist. They'll never run out. And I think there was just a tragedy like 2 or 3 years ago, like his great niece or something drowned in a lake with her son. But they're always, because there's so many of them, there's always going to be something bad that happens. So maybe it's not really a curse, but yeah, they're all like his own son. He died in a plane crash when he was like, I don't think he even hit 40 yet. And then, yeah, he's got like nieces and nephews. One of them was killed in a skiing accident. I think that was his nephew. But yeah, man, to be a Kennedy, 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Would not want to be a part of that. On that note, we're going to wrap this up because I didn't want to record tomorrow on Thanksgiving, and then Friday I'm definitely not going to record, but I wanted to there's this comedian named Matt Rife that everybody is talking about right now. I've never seen any of his work. It sounds fucked up, but I don't like his face. I know. That's fucked up. Every time that I would see his face and he's holding the microphone, I was like, I don't think that I'm going to care for this guy and his jokes. But apparently he was really, really funny. And I guess that he got like blown up on TikTok. He got noticed on TikTok, and his demographic is basically like a lot of women because he's very handsome. He's got a Cillian Murphy type face, and he's kind of I guess he's funny, or he wouldn't have gotten to where he's gotten. Anyway, he has a special that just came out, and in his special, apparently, he made some domestic abuse jokes and just kind of ripped into women. And men and women are not, they don't like him. So I need to. I was going to watch some of his special because I want to jump in on this, and I feel like I need to make some kind of parody about this guy because he's all the videos that I'm seeing of him, of parodies of him, are ripping him a new one, and I want in on the fun. I want to know. We just couldn't get through that without the camera shutting off again, could we? Anyway, that'll do it for us. We got Thanksgiving, the JFK assassination, and Matt Rife. What an episode. Thank you very much to the patrons, everybody who's listened and watched for the last 365 days. Really means a lot. There's no words. Thank you. Really, really awesome. Mr. Stu, is there anything you'd like to add? Really? I didn't know you had a little butt chin. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, I kind of see it there. That's pretty cool, buddy. Yeah, we're butt chin buddies. Yeah. Anyway, if you physically go outside for Black Friday, if you go to a store or what have you, please be kind to everybody, especially the service people. Don't trample anybody. Nothing that you get is going to be worth that, and you'll possibly be charged with assault. If you go to the store and you get some items, go out to the shop. Return to your shopping cart. Cart return. All right. We'll see you next week.